Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are looking at VirtualBox network modes, something every cybersecurity student, pen testing beginner, or home lab builder needs to understand. I'm gonna break down all the key network modes, see which one gives internet, which one isolates your VM, and most importantly, which one you should use when running potentially malicious code so your host stays safe. So let's get started. VirtualBox gives us several network modes. In order to access them, we will need to go to the settings of a virtual machine and then into the network tab and then click on attach to. Here you guys can see all the different network modes. Each one of them controls how your VM connects to the internet, whether it can talk to other VMs, whether it can talk to your physical network, and how isolated the VM is from your host. So let's explore them one by one. So the first one is going to be the NAT mode. It stands for Network Address Translation, but this is an adapter. What's happening here is this is our network, and this is your computer inside the network or the host that you're using. It connects to the internet through the router. Now, when we have VirtualBox in our computer, and keep in mind these are two different virtual machines. Now, these separated dots indicate that they are both on different subnetworks. So, these two virtual machines are going to have the same IP address. And the hypervisor is basically the middleman between the VirtualBox and our network. So, these virtual machines, since they're going to have the same IP address, it's going to be hard and they won't be able to talk to each other because they are on separate networks. But this virtual machine, or this, it doesn't matter, they will use our or your host to connect to the internet. So basically, in this mode, you have internet access. The VMs can talk to the host, but only through port forwarding that you can manually configure. And can these two virtual machines talk to each other? No, that's not possible unless you set up port forwarding, of course. And the last question is, can malware escape? Is that a risk? Well, the risk is very low because NAT mode is generally safe. Malware inside the VM cannot directly see your host network. And you can also test this by opening a virtual machine and running the ping command and pinging google.com, and you will see that it works. That indicates that your virtual machine has access to the internet. Then you can also try to ping the host from your virtual machine, ping the host. You will see that it will fail. And if you try to ping the first VM using the second one, then you will also again see that it will fail. Next, we have the breached adapter mode. This mode puts your VM directly on your physical network. It becomes another device on your Wi-Fi or Ethernet. So as you can see here, I removed the subnet, and now the VMs are going to have two different separate IPs. So they're going to have their own IPs, not the same one as they had in the NAT network. Through the hypervisor, they're going to connect to our network, and then through the network, they're going to use the router to connect to the internet. So basically, think of it this way. Think of it as if these two virtual machines are here in our network. Now, do these virtual machines have internet access? Yes, they do. Can they communicate with each other? Yep. And can they communicate with the host? Yep, as well. Now, as for the malware side, so can malware escape? Well, in this mode, there's a higher risk. Anything malicious can reach out to other devices on your real LAN, including printers, IoT devices, or even Windows shares. So the reason why I decided to make this video is because whenever I try to change my network mode into bridged adapter, for some reason the DHCP server wouldn't assign my virtual machines. It wouldn't assign any IP addresses, so I wouldn't be able to either make the virtual machines talk to each other, or even connect to the internet. And I found a solution to that in case this issue happens to you as well. And I will get to that at the end as the last mode. But there, yeah, this was pretty much it for the bridge adapter mode. Two VMs have different IP addresses. They act as if they are inside our network. They connect to the router, and then they can serve the net. They can talk to the host, and they can talk between each other. The next mode is going to be internal network mode. Now, what is this? It's a completely isolated network that only VMs can access. The host is not a part of it. So, maybe this looks similar to the bridge network mode. However, there's like some small thing missing from this diagram, and it's the connection between the hypervisor and the network, our network. So, this is completely isolated private network that's not connected to our network. Now, the VMs in this network, they can talk to each other. They have different IP addresses, so they can communicate with each other. On the downside, they don't have internet access, and the VMs cannot also talk to the host. As for the malware escape part, well, that's extremely low because, well, this is the safest mode besides not attached, which I'm gonna go over later. Yeah, this is basically the uh, good thing about this mode. It's like extremely low for the malware to escape as it's a separate private network. Then we have the host only adapter. So what is this? It creates a private network only between the host and the VM. There is no internet unless you combine it with a second adapter. So as you can see in the diagram, this is the network that's created for the virtual machines and our host. Now, do they have internet access? No, they don't. The virtual machines cannot access the internet. However, the virtual machines can communicate with the host, and the virtual machines can communicate with each other. As for the malware escape part, well, the risk is very low. This is great for safe isolated labs, like Windows and Kali, Metasploitable testing, etc. The second last mode that we're going to go over is the not attached mode. So this mode is basically like unplugging the network cable. The VMs have no internet access, they cannot communicate with each other as well. Now you might ask, well, what's the difference then between not attached and the internal network mode? Well, keep in mind in internal network, the VMs could talk to each other, and in this mode they cannot. Now, use cases for this mode could be, static analysis of malware, reverse engineering, when you want zero network interaction, nothing gets in or out. And in the internal network, maybe you could have some sort of a malware and you want to test it between two devices, so you will need two virtual machines that can communicate with each other. So this could be like a use case between these two things for you to decide which one to use. Lastly, the NAT network mode. Think of NAT network as NAT, but with a shared internal network for multiple VMs. Does this mode provide the VMs with internet access? It does. Do the VMs communicate with each other? Yes, they can. And as for the host communicating with the VMs, it can work, but you will have to do port forwarding for that. And as for malware being able to escape if you run it in a virtual machine, well, the risk is pretty low, which is exactly the same as NAT. Now, your question might be, well, what's the difference between NAT and bridged? Because they both basically do the same thing. Well, the reason why I made this video is because bridged adapter mode didn't work for me, and when I was trying to find a solution for it, I saw multiple discussions from people saying that bridge adapter wouldn't assign an IP to their machine, and I needed a way to have multiple virtual machines be able to connect to the internet while also being able to talk to each other. So I found NAT network to be another version that worked and did what I was looking for. Now, just to show you guys how we can create a NAT network and set our VMs into that NAT network, what you will need to do is go to VirtualBox first of all, click on Tools, choose the NAT network here, and hit Create. And as you can see, it was created for you. This is all you need to do. Then go back to your virtual machine, click on Settings, go to the network, and switch to NAT network. and then hit OK. And that's pretty much it. Your virtual machine now is on the network, not network adapter mode. On the screen, I'm showing a summary table of the network modes that we went throughout this video. Hopefully this cleared up all the confusion around VirtualBox network modes. If you're building cybersecurity labs, want more VirtualBox or malware analysis videos, hit like and subscribe, and drop a comment with what you want me to cover next. But before I go, I want to answer an important question that I made at the beginning. Which mode allows two VMs to talk to each other and still have internet? You can use either NAT network and bridge adapter. Keep in mind, if bridge adapter isn't for some reason assigning you an IP address, there's always the NAT network, which is an alternative. See you guys soon again.